This is In the Know for Friday, June 2, the 153rd day of 2023. There are 212 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll give you a chance to win. You can score some theme park tickets today, and we'll get you ready for the big weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. There's my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you've been busy. Already been watering this morning.
Yes.
Been out tending to the landscaping because you got big plans for the evening.
I do.
You're going to end up on the dance floor this evening.
Absolutely.
I thought you might. Probably. Perhaps I'll see you there. What would you do if a cashier mistakenly gave you more change than you were supposed to get?
Well, I never paid with cash, so I don't think that I'm going to run into that.
All right. So what if?
I mean, I would give it back.
Okay. Only 1 in 5 of us would keep the extra change and shut up. 80% of us would point out the error and return it. That's the right thing to do, right?
It is the right thing to do.
Somebody makes a mistake, and you can say, hey, you gave me back too much change, because at the end of the day, somebody has to Z out that drawer, so you want to take care of them, too. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You're going to be watching the UK Baseball Regional today?
It's at 11, isn't it,
Yeah,
Central?
I think it's 11:30. It seemed like it started on the half hour, I was thinking, but you might be right. It's in the morning hours, Central Time.
Correct. No,
So-
and then I know I'm following up the road, LaRue County. They're playing right now in the baseball tournament.
Oh,
It's just
gotcha.
They just got underway as well. I was just following that.
UK plays
Ball State.
TT.
Yeah. You can say that. That's radio clean.
No, I'm not. I mean, yes, I can, but I'd rather not do it. I used to work with people who lived in Muncie and had gone to Ball State, so I was not familiar.
David Letterman?
with no, Joe Blair, actually, which I'm sure they were contemporaries. Reading something interesting, and it sort of confirms what we probably all could figure out. A new study is talking about the COVID-19 lockdowns lasted weeks, months for some people around the world, and caused many people to struggle mentally, physically, emotionally, etc. And everyone had a different experience and had a different set of dynamics. But a new study from the University in Aberdeen has suggested that not in Butler County, Scotland, 2020 pandemic lockdowns caused people to lose track of time, similar to what's been reported for prison inmates. So the way they studied this was they went back through that 3-year period and they surveyed individuals and said, what year did Meghan Markle join the royal family? Or George Floyd, or went through with these events on the timeline, and people struggled at higher than average rates to be able to remember when that was. And I noticed for self, there is kind of a blur in that period where you go, well, wait a minute, was this year or that year? Do you experience some? Was there some type of cloudy, hazy type of trying to figure out what happened during that time?
Not really personally,
No?
at least that I think of.
Good.
I don't know.
I think our situations were a little bit different.
I agree with that because we
we-
came to work every day.
We
Yeah,
were
there was-
still, yeah.
If anything, we might have worked a little bit more.
Yes, that's
Yes.
true. Yeah, I can see that. And it was a challenge. But I also know, I remember during that time, all of the holidays snuck up on me. Like, because it seemed like you were suspended in time. And then I looked up and Christmas was 5 days away. And I thought, what, how did that happen? Because everything was so delayed. And so anyway, I just thought it was an interesting, but they likened it to being in prison and losing track of time, because I guess your days tend tend to run together. So anyway, it is the first unofficial full weekend of summer, but it is still spring for another 3 weeks.
Will feel like that.
But it is going to feel like summer today. Felt like summer yesterday. Going to feel like summer today, and going to feel like summer on Sunday as well, before cooling down to a mild 89 on Monday. 93 today, 94 tomorrow, 92 Sunday, 89 Monday. Then a 3 in 10 chance of rain creeps back in on Tuesday. 81 for your high on Wednesday, and the next weekend looks to be like in the 90s again. So just be prepared for hydrate, sunscreen, like all those things that you need to do to take care of yourself. You'll be ready for summer by the time it really gets here. The Senate in the wee hours last night did pass the debt ceiling deal and came up with a 2-year spending deal. The yays were 63, the nays were 36. So that deal struck between Biden and McCarthy did find its way through, and many people like it. Many people don't like it. Some people voted for it. Some people voted against it. But that's what we got, at least for the next couple of years. A Morgantown woman has been accused of having a sexual relationship with a juvenile child. Morgantown police were notified of the criminal actions by the parents of the victim, who told investigators their child was having a relationship with 32-year-old Ann Louise Medeiros. They opened an investigation. She was charged and lodged in the Butler County Jail on a $5,000 cash bond. The Ohio County Sheriff's Office is requesting assistance identifying a theft suspect. The sheriff there said the female in the photos is wanted for questioning regarding a theft that occurred at CarQuest Auto Parts in Fordsville. The theft occurred on Monday afternoon about 3:30. Appeared to have been driving a dark-colored Honda passenger car based upon some surveillance still shots at the scene. So if you have any information, the Ohio County Sheriff's Office would like to hear from you. So there you go. I noticed yesterday that our hardworking friends at Scotty's were paving the exit ramp to Clarkson, Millerstown Road. So that says to me that at least a reopening of that ramp is within reasonable timeline.
Yay.
We'll see, and then what will happen is they'll flip.
Going to pave the other side.
So it would be that you can't
Yeah.
get off there, or because you can't
Coming
get
west.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, but
Or get on to head to Litchfield.
that's right. So they'll rebuild that. By the way, the new bridge looks nice, and you can tell how it's going to improve that area. Sight lines around that bridge have been challenging for quite some time. So anyway, it's improving, and I noticed, wow, that's some deep asphalt that they were pouring, like thick. So anyway, saw some signs of that yesterday, and so maybe we might be getting back closer to normal. Maybe they'll have that resolved by start of the school year.
Yeah, I know that Chris Jesse in the article that we had published about 6 weeks ago or so said November, but they always usually like to overestimate a little bit.
Yes, it can definitely take longer than that, but you really don't think too much about it until you need that ramp, and then you go, hey, wait a minute,
Yeah, it's one that I use quite often.
Sure. Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced yesterday that the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals in Cincinnati has granted an administrative stay of the Biden administration's disapproval of Kentucky's state implementation plan under the Clean Air Act. Cameron says the interim ruling limits the Environmental Protection Agency's ability to dictate how Kentucky meets air quality standards within its own borders. If successful, he maintains the EPA's reckless regulation would wreak havoc in the state, forcing the shutdown of many of Kentucky's coal-fired power plants, killing jobs and raising utility rates for Kentuckians. So anyway, update you on that because it could be impacting all of us. Horse Racing's Oversight Authority and Churchill Downs have each announced additional safety and health measures in the wake of 12 recent deaths since late April at the home of the Kentucky Derby. The Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority will conduct additional post-entry screenings of horses to identify those at increased risk for injury. It will also direct its Integrity and Welfare Unit to collect blood and hair samples for all fatalities for use while investigating a cause. Earlier yesterday, Churchill Downs announced it would immediately limit horses to 4 starts during a rolling 8-week period and impose ineligibility standards for poor performers. The dual announcements came just before their spring meet resumed after several days of meetings during an emergency summit convened by HISA to examine the troubling spate of deaths. So anyway, sounds like they've kind of come up with a plan and will be trying to safeguard some of the things that have been happening there in Louisville. The Southeastern Conference will play 8 league games in 2024 when it expands to 16 teams, but the long-term model is still to be determined. There was, because Oklahoma and Texas are joining the league, originally, I think a lot of the offseason so far has been the conventional wisdom was they would expand to 9 games. But if you expand to 9 games, programs like Kentucky are likely to sacrifice non-conference series like Louisville.
Which, if you want my take on that, is I get rid of a MAC game and keep Louisville. Like, I get you got to get the win and all that, but I don't know. I'm in the realm. I'd almost rather go 5-7, but have a game against Louisville in there than go 6-6, go to the Birmingham Bowl of, whatever it is, and play
The Toy
Akron.
Bowl. If you're a fan, then I definitely agree with you that you would like to.
I know it's all about money.
You would
I
like
get it.
to keep
but
the Governor's Cup. Well, here's how I think it's about money, though. If I'm Mark Stoops and my success and failure is based upon wins and losses, then I would definitely rather play another MAC team because it makes my winning record look better, and there's downstream monetary benefits of that.
which I don't like.
You don't
Personally.
like the benefit, the bonuses based upon wins.
Well, no, I'm more just like, I don't like that being the mentality, because you're right, and I just don't like let's play. Like, I wish that, instead of, if you keep like the 4 teams, if that's how they do it, 8 conference and 4, why doesn't keep Louisville, and then let's do like West Virginia, Indiana, or something like that, and then you can keep your MAC schools or something along the lines of that. Play more Power 5 teams, and I hope that they even require it, because there have been some rumors about that if they go to 9 conference games, that they will require one of the 3 non-conference to be a Power 5 opponent, which would open up for Kentucky then just to play Louisville every year.
Sure, that could create.
Although the way Louisville's going, they might not be a Power 5 team because the ACC is in shambles almost.
Well, and I do think Louisville's going to get better, so I think that series will come back to being more even in the coming years. But also, here's where that's bad for Kentucky, and bad also for Louisville, is that now they get to play on that rivalry weekend. They get to play the same weekend as the Iron Bowl. They get to play the same week as, name it, Ohio State, Michigan. All these rivalries are set aside for that Saturday in the schedule. And when you get to be part of that conversation, I think that it adds to the overall name recognition of the program. So if you take that aside, then you go, oh, great, they're playing Appalachian State. And who cares about that? So, it cuts 2 ways on that. So at least for next year, they're going to keep it the 8 games and then let the dust settle on Oklahoma and Texas and then figure it out again. The Nuggets.
It's kind of wild to say next year is 2024. It's hard to.
Well, I read yesterday we're closer to 2040 than we are 2006. And now kind of hard to. I mean, that's for those of us that lived through Y2K. It's hard to imagine we're closer to 2040 than
my goodness.
2006. The Nuggets rolled past the Heat 104-93 in Game 1. They were up 17 at some point in time. So Nuggets look pretty good in Game number 1. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Jokic though is really good, but I know Tyler Hero might be back for Game 2. If not, looking like he'll be back for Game 3. Hopefully, maybe that'll give the Heat a little bump.
Listen, the Heat has, well, you got Butler, but Heat has such the postseason resume. Like this program has been there before, so they won't just lay down to the Nuggets by any stretch of the imagination. And we have a new Scripps National Spelling Bee champion. Dev Shaw is the winner, and 15 months ago, he spent a miserable 5 hours spelling outdoors in a chilly, windy, damp conditions at a supersized regional competition in Orlando, and he lost, and he said he was despondent. He said, I just didn't know if I wanted to keep continuing, but he bounced back. He trained hard, had to go back through the Orlando Regional, and he flexed his knowledge on Wednesday's early rounds by asking questions that proved he knew every relevant detail the Bees pronouncers and judges had on their computer screens. So that's another impressive thing. It's one thing to get the word, but it's one thing to know the word, but ask the questions about the etymology and all those, the origins and root words and those things. So the winning word was Samophile. Samophile. If you don't put a P as the first one, you're off to the bad start. P-S-A-M-M-O-P-H-I-L-E. That's P-S-A-M-M-O-P-H-I-L-E.
Do you know what it means?
No.
It's something that
That's what I was hoping for.
it's something that lives in the sand.
Something that lives in the
Oh.
sand. So
Yes.
a crab,
I guess.
a sand
It's
flea,
kind of the
a samophile. He didn't struggle. He just rolled it right off there.
I
but-
heard that this morning on my news bulletin. They
Alright.
said what it was because she was like, I don't know either. And I'm like, well, good, because I don't know.
Congratulations, Dev Shaw. We got to get to our break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. Or as we like to call it, the can't have just one deal. Mix and match a tasty McDouble sandwich, McChicken, savory 6-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, or, for a limited time, any size frozen drink. Buy one, get one for $1. Now try flavors like frozen Coca-Cola, Fanta Blue Raspberry, or Fanta Wild Cherry. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 5th.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis, and Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Eliminate the threat of termites before damage adds up. Because termites can't detect Termidor, they die after ingesting treated material around your home. The Centricon system with always active technology begins the termite colony elimination process without delay and offers continuous property protection from termites with monitored bait systems on your property. For an effective and environmentally friendly solution to termites, contact the experts at Litchfield Exterminating, 259-6285.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, sometimes free takes a little convincing, especially with dads.
Free parking? That's how they get you.
They're just naturally suspicious of free stuff. Free soft drinks!
Whoa. That's how they get you.
But after a day of fun on the world's longest water coasters and our 400 drone light show, dads come around. At Holiday World, we get you. We're just not out to get you. That's why there's
free soft drinks, free parking, free soft drinks!
Get tickets at holidayworld.com.
OpenAI is proposing a new way to fight artificial intelligence hallucinations. Hallucinations happen when AI models like ChatGPT deliver completely made-up information. Some independent experts are skeptical about OpenAI's new research paper that offers ideas to help prevent these hallucinations. A new report shows that Twitter hasn't been removing hate speech posted by accounts subscribed to Twitter Blue. The nonprofit Center for Countering Digital Hate said its researchers gathered such tweets from 100 verified paid Twitter Blue accounts and reported them to the social media platform. It reported that Twitter didn't act on 99% of the flagged tweets, and all accounts remained active as of 4 days later. The organization picked out tweets making racist, homophobic, transphobic, or anti-Semitic comments. And some companies are cutting costs by pulling job offers from prospective employees, fearing a slowdown in the economy is coming. NBC News reports that companies like Meta, Amazon, and crypto firm Coinbase have all acknowledged pulling recent offers. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
Today is Rocky Road Day. Salute to the ice cream flavor, Rocky Road. You know, Weird Al did a parody on Rocky Road. He covered Joan Jett's I Love Rocky Road. Put another spoon in the bucket,
even.
baby.
Number
I don't
one
like him.
Weird Al fan over here, right?
Or
she loves Weird
Rocky
Al.
Road ice cream.
You don't like Rocky Road
And
either.
leave Joan Jett songs alone.
What did she do
Right?
to
I said leave
deserve?
her alone.
It is Rotisserie Chicken Day. It is Donut Day. It is Leave the Office Early Day.
problem.
Tomorrow is Let's Make a Pact. Miss Buckles, you and I need to make a pact that we will not tell Alea Elizabeth that tomorrow is Repeat Day.
Oh, yes. Sold.
We'll pass that message along. We'll get it to her.
Because she will.
My flip-flops are easier
Is,
to take off today, Sam.
She will play it to the hilt.
I'll message Mama Carla and she'll she'll pass the message along. Or I need to probably get in contact with Owen. Owen would probably be the one that would be fine with letting that happen.
Tomorrow is Chocolate Macaroon Day. Tomorrow is National Family Recreation Day. Badminton, ping pong,
Pickleball?
basketball hoop, Uno.
Monopoly? Or is that
Sunday
Not
is
yet.
Cheese Day, Old Maids Day, and Shopping Cart Day. Shopping cart was invented in 1937 by Sylvian Goldman from Oklahoma.
I was at the store not too long ago, and I went pulled out the shopping cart, and it was clearly a brand new one that had only been used about once or twice, and it was amazing pushing, for one, how smooth it is, and not to have the wheels.
Nice.
And it was like I almost wanted to find a spot to hide it. Like, none of you use this, because
No
anytime
wobble.
you pick it up, it's driving to the left or driving to the right, or
Yeah. Sometimes you get that cart and you hear in your mind, wobble, baby, wobble, wobble.
or they hear you coming across the store.
Hey, we all learned from the movie Tommy Boy what you're supposed to do during a bee attack.
Yes.
Or maybe we didn't. I think that's our go-to move. Bees! Bees! Here's the worst ways to react to a bee attack. One, don't just stand there or try to fight back. We had a carpenter bee out here on the front porch yesterday that I was keeping. I was like, I'm watching you. Don't cover your face. It's true that bees will sometimes target the eyes, the nose, and mouth of a person they are attacking. But if you cover your face, you'll have a hard time seeing where you're going as you run away, and you might run into a light post. So the important thing to do is run away. Don't jump into water. Bees don't swim, so it might seem like it's safe, but there are accounts of bee attacks getting worse because the attackee sought refuge in a pond. So, wow, these are some violent bees. I don't encounter bees this violent. We also tend to hold bees in higher regard in our area. It doesn't mean we like them. It doesn't mean we want to be stung by them. But because of our affinity for beekeeping and honey making in these parts, I mean, we do have, our community is home to the State Honey Festival, the official Kentucky State Honey Festival. So if you eliminate all the bees, it's going to be hard to have any honey. But it doesn't mean that, and perhaps we are able to cohabitate with bees better. Maybe we like the bees more and the bees like us more than, say, in Kansas. And don't play dead. That's only what you do for bears. You play dead for bears. You don't play dead for bees. because then you're just a sitting duck.
I don't know that I'm going to play dead for a bear either.
No?
Just give him a picnic basket. And
Hey, boo-boo. Here are 2 summer-themed Oreo flavors that are making a comeback. Cotton candy is coming back after 8 years after being released as a limited edition.
Shoot.
And, well, I'd rather have this than actual cotton candy. I don't mind the taste of cotton candy, but I despise eating it.
I was during one of our, I think it was the softball tournament that we were doing last week. One of my crew members comes back in between one of the games and has one of the containers of it. He's like, "You want some?" I was like, "No, because I don't want it all over my fingers."
Yeah.
It's like you have the luck of going to the restroom. I usually don't.
Also coming back, s'mores Oreos.
That would be good.
S'mores, not Rocky Road Oreos. S'mores Oreos are returning. S'mores and cotton candy. Baskin Robbins, if that's more your speed, is featuring a new Cookie Monster ice cream.
Okay.
C is for cookie. Cookie Monster ice cream features a mix of chocolate sandwich cookie pieces and chocolate chip cookie pieces with a cookie dough batter flavored swirl. And of course it's blue. The ice cream has to be blue if you're making a Cookie Monster. So yeah, this would be pretty good. Nom 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 nom.
My mom used to work at Baskin Robbins growing up. I know, so she had all the secrets at that time.
That's neat.
She knew the deets on all 31 flavors.
I'm sure she could probably still tell you all 31 flavors.
Now is your chance to own a lighthouse. Anybody ever wanted to own or live in a lighthouse?
Nope.
There are lighthouses up for grabs. The first lighthouse was built more than 2,000 years ago.
You know, I would maybe consider like an Airbnb for a night, but other than that, I don't know that I really have much interest.
A lot of stairs.
Yeah.
The view would be good.
But you got to think, always in the movies, the lighthouse taker is always a little...
Right?
You saying you're not that?
Well, not yet. I don't know that I want to speed myself up to getting to that point.
There are currently 5 lighthouses being given away for free to federal, state, or local government agencies, nonprofits, or education or community development organizations that are financially able to maintain them and willing to make them publicly available for education, park, recreation, cultural, or historic preservation purposes. Oh, no. If I'm going to own a lighthouse, it's going to be mine. You can come over if you're invited, but you're not just going to go traipsing through my lighthouse.
Put a
anytime
radio
you want.
studio in there.
Absolutely. And use it and put an antenna on the top of it. There's the Lind Point Lighthouse in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. There is the Nobska Lighthouse in Falmouth, Massachusetts. There's the Plymouth Gurnet Lighthouse in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Warwick Neck Light in Warwick, Rhode Island. Little Mark Island. There we go.
There's yours.
Harpswell, Maine. Harpswell. Harpswell.
You're moving to Maine.
Yes. Little Mark Island and Monument. I guess. Surely they would give that to me. It's my namesake. Around here, our equivalent, the closest thing we have to a lighthouse around here are fire towers. And there aren't many of them, but you run across the occasional fire tower or you climb up there and you get good views.
Yes, we got one just over the hill there. Oh. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's
a training facility.
That is a training tower. These are like forestry towers. There's one down 54. If you ever go to Rough River, about halfway, 2/3 of the way to Short Creek, up on a hillside, you can see a big fire tower where you...
I don't know that I've ever...
I think it belongs to the Forestry Service. I'm not 100% sure on that, but more steps than I've ever been curious to climb. Speaking of real estate, you might want to buy a lighthouse or you might want to buy an old school. A Maryland high school was listed for sale on Zillow for an unbelievably low price in what some believe could be a senior prank. Meade Senior High School in Fort Meade, Maryland was listed on the online real estate marketplace for $42,000 on Tuesday, according to Zillow. A spokesman for the public schools says the school district that oversees Meade Senior High confirmed that the local high school is not up for sale. So likely some
it's a harmless senior prank.
Snarky senior said, "Let's sell the school on Zillow and see if they can get any takers."
Harmless senior prank.
Did you have any senior pranks that were harmless or not?
We weren't allowed. because the year before us ruined it. And they pretty much said, if you all do anything...
You're not graduating.
Yeah, it was pretty much what they said.
Yeah.
So we all looked at one another and we were like, it's really just not worth it.
Okay, but I mean, to me, pranks are typically things that are not necessarily permissible or permitted, but they're things that are innocuous enough that people are like, okay, that was a good one.
No, yes, they were... Because I don't remember, and I've been trying to remember what the class before us did, but they did something that ruined it for us.
So it was so bad that you followed the fear, like, but you don't remember what the origin story was. So was it really that good of a prank or not?
I don't even know that it could be classified as too good of a prank, or if it went so far that it's no longer a prank.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I don't particularly remember as to what it was, but I just know that we didn't do one.
Did you?
No, we weren't clever enough to have a senior prank.
That there's probably a good portion of that too.
Well, and I think we were already so over it that.
And see, when you usually do the senior prank is what, the last 2 or 3 weeks of school.
Mhm.
And see, we had a weird, because we had a classmate pass away about 3 weeks before. So that it's kind of like we were all in this like.
That takes the wind out of the fun zone.
When was that? I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I guess it could have been, I don't know, when someone turned the pig loose.
Oh my, that's my favorite one I've ever heard.
Right?
Where you put numbers on them.
Yes.
1, 2, and 7.
And then everybody's looking for
yeah, I mean
3 through 6.
Now
that's fantastic.
That one's been done
Yes.
enough that no school administrators are going to fall for that now.
Oh,
but
I would be surprised.
oh, that's true.
Well,
I
because we
met
have a
some school
lot of
administrators.
new school administrators, right? If you think about it, I don't mean necessarily here.
Yeah,
But people retire at a
Lacey Cox would not fall for that. I know she'd be all on top of that.
She's way too wise for that.
Jonathan Williams, maybe though, right?
But the best people like that though were the good prankers. You know, like the old game recognizes game, where he's like, "No, you're not going to get me because I've already thought of all those pranks." So, I think to be a good school administrator, you kind of have to think like a prankster. You know, say, I see you coming.
That might be where you get the Edmonson County bump from Jonathan Williams. He might have because he's also been the principal at all levels. He's learned all the tricks in the book.
Yeah, he really wasn't that way though.
Really?
No.
A South Carolina man was cuffed and slapped with armed robbery charges after he allegedly held up a convenience store using a Nintendo Duck Hunt game pistol. 25-year-old David D'Alessandro. Is that David?
It is David.
I love the game Duck Hunt.
Me too.
You want me to just do that for you?
But
Yes.
the laughing dog is way better.
Oh yes, but you don't want the laughing dog.
25-year-old, no. David D'Alessandro barged into a Quick Stop. There's your first problem. Quick's, Kwik. Store in Sharon, South Carolina on Tuesday and flashed the toy gun at the cashier while demanding money. D'Alessandro was dressed in a wig. That's not a wig.
I don't think so either.
You want to go full screen again?
Yeah.
Sure. With a wig. That's not a wig.
I think you could pull that hair off. That wig.
That's
If it were a wig, I
no,
could
that's
pull it
legit.
off. Mask and hoodie, and had spray painted the video game pistol all black so it looked more realistic when he lifted his shirt to reveal the fake gun jutting out of the waistband of his pants. The store clerk removed approximately $300 from the register and handed it to the alleged duck hunt robber who fled the scene. They found him just down the street in a parking lot, and they found the gun in his pants and arrested him. So the cops were doing the laughing like the dog. But what if the shopkeeper had pointed back with a real gun? Like that would have been, you'd have been sorry for just bringing your duck hunt gun
Or a Nerf gun.
if you encounter a real gun somewhere. Where is it in? It's South Carolina or one of the Southeastern Conference states. They had a 13-year-old who was killed by a store owner who was shot in the back, and so you may be just being out there is kind of sometimes dangerous. Now, I will take you from South Carolina to Georgia, where in Lithia Springs, A woman faces multiple charges after deputies say she pointed her gun inside a Cracker Barrel and then later fired the gun inside a Waffle House just hours apart.
Did she lose the peg game?
Maybe. The warrant states that Dylan is her name, went to the Cracker Barrel location at in Lithia Springs between 8 and 9 a.m. While she was inside, she allegedly started to point a gun at the ground and yelling at other customers to get back, putting one of the customers inside the restaurant at risk. Then hours later, she's accused of threatening customers at the Waffle House on the other side of the I-20 exit. She entered the restaurant there between 12 and 12:30 and sat down in the booth. She then got up and started waving a 9mm handgun around and pointed it at the Waffle House customers. At least one gunshot went off, but no one was injured.
Well, luckily, I can't imagine that the Waffle... I mean, who goes to the Waffle House at noon?
I think she has an affinity for hash browns.
I think she must
Hash
want
brown
them
casserole.
smothered and covered, or I don't. But I will. She's in the Douglas County Jail now, where they do not serve Uncle Herschel's
Or the Sunrise
or
Sampler.
the Sunrise Sampler or
All-Star Special.
No, none of those. So she'll get her
chocolate chip waffle,
bread and water, because that's what they serve in jail now. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Your chance to win is coming up here on In the Know.
Take your remodeling project to the next level and transform an ordinary space into an extraordinary one with Masonite doors and atrium windows from Future Designs. With Masonite and Atrium, you get countless design options that give you unmatched flexibility, energy-efficient glass choices, hardware, and more. So don't just remodel, transform with Masonite doors and atrium windows built around you. Start your transformation at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. FDBM.net.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach or see your new granddaughter or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that our children's health is vitally important. Today we're talking to Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman about K-CHIP, the Kentucky Children's Health Insurance Program.
K-CHIP is health insurance at no cost for kids up to age 19 who meet eligibility. It's designed to make sure no one falls through the cracks because our future depends on our kids and we must keep them healthy.
You mentioned that it's $0 for those who are eligible. How does a family qualify?
Those who qualify must meet income guidelines, but the guidelines are generous. We say if your family income is less than $60,000 or $70,000 a year, look into K-CHIP. You may qualify.
Lieutenant Governor, you've been a teacher, a basketball coach, and you're a mother, so it's easy to see why K-CHIP is so important to you.
That's right. Children have always been a big part of my life, and K-CHIP is designed to make sure all kids have health insurance.
To find out more, just search K-CHIP online. That's KCHIP.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Get ready for a scorcher of a weekend. We're expecting high temperatures to be 10 to 15 degrees above average, with highs well into the low and maybe even the mid-90s for a few spots. So for today, a high of 93 degrees, which is also why we have an air quality alert in place for the Louisville Metro. Tomorrow, 94, 92 by our Sunday. From the Wavestorm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
All summer. This is the 105 Days of Summer. It's going to be the hottest summer yet. Brought to you by Midway Pharmacy.
Summer.
On the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
Johnny was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song. Love me do, I think it was, and from there it didn't take him long. Got himself a guitar, used to play every
Did you know the stick is considered the world's oldest toy?
Well, I mean,
Makes sense, but
you can poke things with it.
Is it also the world's oldest weapon?
probably.
I mean,
those little boys.
Was the stick before the rock, or was the rock before the stick? You know, I don't.
So those little boys last night at the game had Carla tore up because they were using a stick to poke at a wolf spider.
Yeah.
And she went over there and she talked to him and she said, you know, it may be a mama to some babies. Well, I think that made them poke more.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, that can go either way. Yeah, the stick is considered the world's oldest toy. All right, it's Friday. I'm going to take it easy on you today because some of you just didn't do very well with the water cooler question yesterday, frankly. So I think I'm not gonna run you very hard today. I'm going to make this a little bit easy today. Beach Bend tickets are up for grabs, and you can win Beach Bend tickets. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to text 270-259-6000, and I want to know your favorite summer song. Your favorite summer song. All right, song makes you think of summer, a song that you like to listen to in summer.
Is there a right answer then for you that wins?
Nope. I'm just going to, of everyone that participates, we're going to draw between the number and they'll be the winner. I just want to see what people like to listen to during the summer. Isn't that fair enough?
If I don't like some of the songs that people choose, can I cancel them out?
Sure.
Okay.
Now, 270-259-6000. Don't call. I see a bunch of you calling. You're going to text it. Weekend movie premieres. I made that super easy, didn't I, Sam?
Yeah, just text what song you want, and you could walk away with Beach Bend tickets.
By the way, it doesn't say I'm going to play it. And it doesn't mean I have to agree that I also like it. I just want to know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you an opportunity to weigh in on what you think the sounds of summer. If you're headed out to the movie theater this weekend, you have the first shot to see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Well, Little Mermaid's reign was short then.
Yeah, Shamik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, Jake Johnson. Also, The Boogeyman is new this weekend. That's Sophie Thatcher and Chris Messina. No idea. And Simulant is a mystery thriller in limited release. Robbie Amell, Jordana Brewster, and Simu Liu. I don't know. So that's what a Spider-Man will do well.
If she gets to eliminate some answers, I get to eliminate two. One just came in eliminated. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Is it?
Let me get, since you mentioned The Little Mermaid, I'm a little puzzled. Have you heard?
No, I don't mind that one.
Have you heard reviews from anyone on Little Mermaid?
Not personally, but I have read that it's getting some rough reviews.
The Little Mermaid doesn't appear to be receiving fair reviews on one of the internet's largest community movie rating systems. Following the release of their reimagining of the '89 animated classic, IMDb has shared a note on its review page for the film describing unusual activity within its ratings for the movie. It says, our rating mechanism has detected unusual voting activity on this title. A note on the page reads, as of Thursday, to preserve the reliability of our rating system, an alternate weighting calculation has been applied. So what this means is they think there's a group a specific group that is targeting to move the needle so that it impacts the perceptions of other people. It's received roughly 43,000 user ratings since last Friday. 17 have granted the movie 1 star out of 10. I don't care what the Disney title is. You're not going to find that many people that are going to give it 1 out of 10. They might give it 4 out of 10. They might give it 6 out of 10, but not 1. So they said that it's skewed and it's leading other people to. But sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they get it wrong. I
hate that probably the reasoning behind that too.
Me too.
Is
aggravating.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yell some jackwagons.
I learned yesterday that I am now on the clock. Billy Joel will end his residency at Madison Square Garden July of 2024. Now, Miss Buckles, you don't even know this, but Reese the niece has a scholarship program that she's supposed to attend in July of 2024. And so her mother and I, when we were at the ball game a couple of weeks ago, talked about it'd be fun to take an extended family trip to New York City, like in that summer, go see To Kill a Mockingbird, go see a Yankees game, see all the sights of New York City.
Why would you punish yourself with watching the Yankees?
Well, then this landed right in my lap that Billy Joel is doing it, which is on my bucket list. Billy Joel at MSG is on my bucket list. He will conclude his residency with his 150th show in July 2024. But then I was simultaneously crestfallen because I thought I will never bring myself to pay that for a ticket because the final show will be astronomical. So I'll just wait and watch the DVD down the road.
You can just drive around singing Uptown Girl and...
That's right. I've got plenty of live albums.
Piano Man.
I've got the box set. I'll just be happy to be, maybe I could walk around Madison Square Garden outside and on the sidewalk and I could hear the music from the inside. That would probably be closer to what I would be likely to do. Why are you smiling at me funny?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just sitting over here in my own world.
Minding your own business. Mm-hmm. Rihanna and Taylor Swift make Forbes' richest self-made women list. They're certainly both wealthy. Rihanna is the richest self-made women list. The singer is now worth a staggering $740 million, making her the second richest woman in music behind Rihanna, who still almost doubles T-Swizzle at $1.4 billion. But a lot of hers is cosmetics line. Mm-hmm. Does Taylor have a cosmetics line yet, or a clothing line? She surely will.
Something.
I don't know.
I'll be interested to see because Rihanna just did the Super Bowl. How long does it take for Taylor Swift to do the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I mean, I guess anytime she's ready, pretty much. I'm sure there's just
it's in Vegas this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know that's.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Vegas, New Orleans, San Francisco. I'm not sure if one of those makes sense for.
And then, what do you think, Nashville after that?
Because
their new building will be ready on that timeline.
They might have Atlanta in there too, because Atlanta, it's been a little bit.
Dwayne Johnson is returning as Luke Hobbs in a new spin-off of the Fast and Furious. So he's been a character in Fast and Furious, and now they're doing a standalone movie, which does not have a title yet. But apparently that franchise is going to continue. Next thing you know, it'll just be like Star Wars universe. They'll have all those movies. No, probably not.
They already have 10. So
yeah, I mean, they definitely got a bunch. And then, we've been talking about Al Pacino this week. Robert De Niro is coming to Al Pacino's defense because he also is having a new child, or recently welcomed his 7th child with a young mother, and he's 79. So he says, lay off of Al Pacino. He's 83. I'm 79. We can still have children. Leave us alone.
Just think, in 27 years.
Okay. We got to get to a break. Come back, finish it up for the week here on In the Know.
10 minutes. That's all it takes to turn your marriage around. Sound too easy? Well, Dr. John Gottman, a widely respected marriage therapist, has published research that shows unhappy couples can dramatically change their relationship by devoting at least 10 minutes throughout the day to each other. It's what happens in those 10 minutes that can make a difference. When couples turn toward each other, shifting their focus away from work, kids, and other distractions of the day, and turn their attention toward their spouse. It could be a conversation over dinner, or it could be as simple as complimenting your wife on her appearance, or giving each other a kiss goodbye as you're heading out the door. Even in brief exchanges like these, you're making a conscious effort to turn toward your spouse. Believe it or not, it's not the lavish vacations or extravagant gifts that best help relationships to thrive, but small, everyday acts. Happy couples take time to talk to one another, laugh together, and pay close attention to what the other is doing or saying. Those seemingly insignificant actions can be powerful moments that keep couples emotionally engaged and stoke the fire of romance and passion. No matter how busy you may be, never be too busy to turn toward your spouse on a daily basis. 10 minutes. That's all you need to help move your marriage from surviving to thriving. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
People ask me sometimes, Lance, I'm worried about my finances and I feel bad because I shouldn't be worried, right? I realize that inflation is going to be eating up money. I've got to do something to get around this crazy stock market and Biden's spending spree. Gold has, since the beginning of time, been the resource that God's people have relied on. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, is what the prophet Haggai said during a time of great shaking. To protect your retirement, I recommend that you diversify your 401k or IRA right out of paper assets and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with Gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, text the word DIVINE to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. Remember, there are no strings attached. By diversifying your retirement account into gold, your savings can be protected. Just text that word DIVINE, DIVINE, to 989898. Take action right now, and I pray that your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that our children's health is vitally important. Today, we're talking to Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman about K-CHIP, the Kentucky Children's Health Insurance Program.
K-CHIP is health insurance at no cost for kids up to age 19 who meet eligibility. It's designed to make sure no one falls through the cracks because our future depends on our kids, and we must keep them healthy.
You mentioned that it's $0 for those who are eligible. How does a family qualify?
Those who qualify must meet income guidelines, but the guidelines are generous. We say if your family income is less than $60,000 or $70,000 a year, look into K-CHIP. You may qualify.
Lieutenant Governor, you've been a teacher, a basketball coach, and you're a mother, so it's easy to see why K-CHIP is so important to you.
That's right. Children have always been a big part of my life, and K-CHIP is designed to make sure all kids have health insurance.
To find out more, just search K-CHIP online. That's KCHIP.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need. You know I feel all right. Feel pretty good, y'all. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Come on, y'all, let's say it one more time.
MB. Point to ponder. What is your theme song? What is your theme song?
Psycho Sam, right?
Well, it's the one I use. So, do you think that's your theme song?
I guess.
That's your walk-on song?
I guess in hers
Honey,
is
you have a theme song?
Snoop, right?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose I'll keep that one.
What would be your? What would you choose as your own theme song on the show? You don't obviously have one. What would be? I guess this could be the answer to yours then.
Well, I mean, without a doubt. No? You seem disappointed.
I don't know. It's like when you give nicknames or we name a vehicle, it feels like we need to put more thought into it.
I mean, that riff. All right, so the reason that I selected it, the reason I said it, is because that was my sign-off song. That's the song I played every night before I signed off the air.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, and because money for nothing, I mean, like, I've getting money for basically doing something I would have volunteered to do. So, now, I will tell you that there's some language in that song that's not so popular in 2023 when it was kind of commonly accepted in 1985, but so I would not necessarily play that part now.
Yeah, my theme song has some questionable language as well.
But I don't know.
I don't think mine has any words to it.
No, yours is pretty much so. Oh, speaking of songs, so I asked you what your favorite summer song was, so I just scrolled through the list really fast. I saw Summertime, DJ Jazzy Jeff, of course. Was he Will Smith or DJ Jazzy Jeff? I think he was Will Smith then. I saw Summer of '69. I saw Surfing USA. Summer in the City. And by interesting, it's a favorite summer song, but it didn't necessarily have to have summer in the title. It could just be anything that you liked in summer. And some people did that. There were Sam's favorite song of the South was on there.
Sorry, you got eliminated.
And so anyway, there were several. I enjoyed reading them, and maybe I will try to weave them into the show. I will try and play the 14-minute extended deep cut of Song of the South when I get a chance.
Let's make sure that's a Wednesday.
Sweet potato pie, and I shut my mouth. All right, of all the, so I need to pick a number between what?
1 and 42.
1 and 42, I shall say 18. 18.
That would be 6872, who went with Surfing USA.
Let's go surfing now. Oh, they didn't ask me to sing it, did they? They just wanted to.
No,
All right.
So the song that immediately came to my mind didn't have the word summer in it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Party in the USA. I don't know what it is about Miley and that song.
It's got, I mean,
right? I guess because it came out right at the beginning of summer, whatever year that was. And
it's a big one.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a party anthem.
I guess, another good one that might not be the easiest to think of for summer, but School's Out, Alice Cooper.
Brick in the Wall.
Yeah, that's good.
We don't need no education.
Let's go to, by the way, if you've seen Air, that's what I've been talking about, the soundtrack. So the soundtrack to the movie Air about Michael Jordan is a reminder of a lot of good 80s music. On television tonight, the greatest at-home videos. I presume Cedric the Entertainer is still the host of that show. Humorous and heartwarming summertime videos from funny dads to goofy grads. Season 2 premiere of Guy's All-American Road Trip on the Food Channel tonight.
Which he did one in Bowling Green that's going to be coming out at some point this summer.
Tomorrow on the Hallmark Channel, it's wedding season. The Cook Ranch is on vacation, so they're probably DVRing that. Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow, Florida at Vegas. Go Golden Knights. The Idol series premiere on HBO on Sunday. Battle on the Beach, HGTV season 3 premiere. And 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days season 6 premiere on TLC on Sunday. Does that line up with what your expectations are?
Read it one more time.
90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days season 6 premiere.
Yes, because The Other Way wrapped up this past Sunday.
And then the game 2 of Miami at Denver in the NBA Finals will be on Sunday. Today's highlight in history. This date in 1997, Timothy McVeigh was convicted of murder and conspiracy in the Oklahoma City bombing. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II took place this date in 1953. Donkey Kong was released by Nintendo this date in 1981.
Sure, you played quite a bit of that, didn't you?
A lot. Yeah. Lots of Donkey Kong. Gong, gong, gong. And 1 year ago today, it's hard to believe, 1 year ago today, we were celebrating the Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth's coronation, and now she's gone. Stacy Keach is 82 today. The Beaver Cleaver Jerry Mathers is 75 today. Dennis Haysbert is 69. Dana Carvey is 68. Andy Cohen is 55. Wayne Brady is 51. And Aquafina is 35 today.
She's in the Crazy Rich Asians.
She is. Gone but not forgotten, Martha Washington, 1731. The Marquis de Sade, 1740. Johnny Weissmuller in 1904. Sally Kellerman, who played the original Hot Lips Houlihan in the movie MASH, 1937. Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones in 1941. And Marvin Hamlish, the creator of The Entertainer, born this day in 1944. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. All right, let's try and get to some chart toppers pretty quick because we're late. Let's go to 1961, Roy Orbison and Running Scared. Thanks, Roy. Appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, that's not his best work.
No, it is not. Let's go to 1970, Simon and Garfunkel. Cecilia.
Do you sing this right before you get to E-Town every day? Or every time you drive there?
Absolutely. Who doesn't? Official song of the community of Cecilia.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we know a resident, and it is true.
1979, Donna Summer and Hot Stuff. 1988, Samantha Fox, Naughty Girls Need Love Too. Spice Girls Say You'll Be There in 97. Temperature, Sean Paul in 06. T-Swizzle with Kendrick Lamar, Bad Blood, #1 8 years ago today. EMB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Misery might love company, but so does joy. And joy throws much better parties. Misery might love company, but so does joy, and joy throws much better parties. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If